Shields up, Ironbreakers. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to some more Elite Dangerous. And today, we're out here reporting from the black. And I only wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. We're currently about a little bit more than 2,000 light years away from the bubble, which is not that much. It's not really that much, but that was how far away I was able to get last night. And today, I have not been able to play. Sorry about that. Because the servers have actually been down. We've had the servers down for quite a while, and it was surprising because it was the first time, I think, I've ever seen Elite servers go down without it being on some scheduled maintenance or something. Anyway, we're out here, out in the black. We're in the middle of a planet. We're currently in the Philux SXU-D213 system, and we've been pretty much exploring as many Earth-likes as well as water worlds as I can possibly get my hands on. And the reason I actually ended up stopping on this planet was I decided to take a break out here. Let me just... because the view from here was really great. Now, the view is not as great as it was when I landed because, well, time passes in real time in this game. So basically, it was a lot of hours ago that I landed on this planet, and naturally the gas giant behind us with the rings has actually started to move away from the position it was. When I first landed here, this thing was like at the peak of its at the peak of the height, so you could see this almost as if it was a sun, although much closer than our sun, which is much further away. So this is one of the cool things that you get to experience while you're out here in the black. You get to see cool planets like this. And I had a couple of plans on what I wanted to do in this specific place before I left, because, you know, you gotta basically relieve a little steam whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, and that's exactly what I plan on doing.
Landing gear retracted.
Now, I'm not sure if my pilot is going, my co-pilot that is going to be able to drive this ship while we do a bit of a canyon run. Looks like we got a canyon right next to us.
Temperature critical.
Oh. But I want to do a canyon run. Now, actually, we're not going to do a canyon run on our ship because that would be stupid. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get out in this bad boy. Don't crash my ship, you crazy bitch. Booyah! See, this is one of the good sides of bringing along fighters, is if you ever want to do a canyon run just for funsies, you can. I actually don't know how far I can get away from my ship. I don't even know if she's following me right now. Oh god, don't crash my fucking ship. Good god, if she crashes my ship, we're gonna have some issues. Anyway. Let's do our little cannon run, shall we? Gimme... there you go, the back of it. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have us some fun. Now, all I really needed here was to get the soundtrack from Top Gun and just get Danger Zone rocking. Wouldn't that be awesome? Try to get the camera as perfect as possible for a sweet little canyon run. Let's get the stabilizer off. Do the finishing touches myself. There you go. That up. Stabilizer on. Good God, I can't see a damn thing with all these thrusters. Let's try and move the camera a little bit further up. Jesus, I still can't see anything. It's all flare. Booyah! This is what people call space dementia, is when you just go completely fucking insane from all the solitude out there in the black. This ship is far too fast for... Whoa. Far too agile even for a little canyon run. Actually, the main problem is that it's got too much light on it. It just got so much friggin' light coming in from those thrusters. It's insane. That is just straight up insane, the amount of light coming off of this fighter. And this is not a particularly good canyon. What if we go over there? Let's see the canyon on the other side. I actually don't know how far you can get these things away from the mothership. I also don't know how closely she's following us on the mothership, our pilot. This thing actually does not go that fast. Wow, 300? Really? Oh, that's disappointing. I thought fighters were a little bit faster. They're actually not that fast. They're very maneuverable, but they're not particularly fast. I think I'd have more fun doing a canyon run on the actual Lusitania. Although that'd be pretty friggin' insane. That'd be pretty friggin' insane. Either way, we've had our fun. Let's rejoin the mothership. Wow, we're actually 4 kilometers away. 6 kilometers even. He's coming straight at us. He's not going to be able to brake. Oh my god, don't you dare crash my ship. I swear to god, I'll kill you. Whoa, look at her go. You better stabilize the hell out of that thing. Oh, that was not too bad. Did you see her? Just like, shh, giving us the drift. Good job. Surprised he didn't crash that thing. Very disappointed in these 4 canyon runs, though. Either way. What was I looking for? Give me docking.
Ship is subbed for the fighter, Commander. Ready when you are.
You want to stop maneuvering then, so that I can actually bring the fighter in? There we go. But this is one of the reasons to have a fighter, if you really just want to fly around for funsies for a little bit. Oh, that's interesting. Never saw that little fuel pipe thing. Okay, let's get our ship out of this rock, shall we? I'll be seeing you, beautiful little gas giant. It was cool landing here and taking some cool screenshots.
Frameshift drive charging.
I need a double check to make sure that our route is up to date before we do our next exploration jump. We're mostly doing exploration jumps right now. I just wanted to report it and let you guys know how far along we've made it so far. And opening the galaxy map now. This is our course. We still have a long ways to go. We're not even halfway into our trip yet. It looks like we're about 1/4 of the way. A little bit less than 1/4 of the way. Hey, we're getting there. We're getting there. Tonight I'm hopefully going to do a couple of more light years. It's just last night I didn't have that much time. And I got a terrible migraine around 3 a.m. for some reason. Really kicked my ass. Now, in case you guys are wondering the exact distance we are from the bubble right now. Here's Sol, which a lot of people consider to be somewhat like the center of the bubble. We're 2,500 light years away. It's not that much in the grand scheme of things. 2,500 light years is still pretty much softball territory. So let's do our next jump. I've actually found a system yesterday that I fully explored because nobody had encountered anything out there yet. And I also came up with a much better method for determining whether or not something is worth scanning, whether or not something is worth, you know, sticking around and checking out. Like, for instance, I checked out this particular planet here because it had two gas giants were supposed to be fairly close together with rings, and unfortunately they weren't as close as I would like. So that's kind of how I decide whether or not I want to come to a specific location. Oh, is that? No, that's just a regular star. For a second I thought that was going to be my first neutron star this trip, but turns out it wasn't. Also, you guys will notice that we've taken a little bit of hull damage. That's because I actually pressed triangle twice by mistake yesterday, which obviously caused an emergency exit of Super Cruise, and I took 1% damage in pretty much all of my modules. Looks like this is a pretty small system we got here, so there's not really a whole lot to see. There's another star, and there's another star. There's 3 stars in the system, and nothing else. And none of these stars is really worthwhile to scan. We're not really going to waste a lot of time here. We're going to move on to the next jump. This is an explorer's life, boys. You guys just... You come in... I'm not sure why I'm scanning again, because I'm an idiot. You come in, you do your jump, you check for interesting things, and you move on to the next jump. But I do have to say, taking it one jump at a time is a much healthier way of going about it, and a much more fun way of going about it than necessarily just going, you know, I gotta get to my destination, and I gotta get there fast. Like, the fact that I haven't been rushing myself to get there has made the whole trip much more worthwhile. The stream is lagging, it's on YouTube's end. Why can you never really fix your shit? It's not PlayStation 3, it's PlayStation 4, Judge Radamanthus. Always on PlayStation 4. And yeah, I can see the lag you guys are talking about, but it's not on my end. Either way, I'll restart the stream real quick. Hopefully that fixes it, and if that doesn't fix it, then it's on YouTube's end. You guys should still be able to see the VOD afterwards. Either way, let's scan this system, see what's up in here. One new astronomical bodies. It's just another star. Again, it's another system that is not particularly interesting for us. So we're going to move away. On to the next jump. You do get a lot of systems that aren't particularly interesting sometimes, so you have to basically deal with it. Looks like the stream's pretty much stabilized, so sorry about that, you guys. It was on YouTube's end, there was not a whole lot I could have done there. If you just refresh at this point, it should be running good. Still stuck in the Phylix system, but you can see that there is a lot less star density towards where we're headed. That is because we're currently in between one of those galactic arms. I can show you guys that on the map once we get to our next stop. Do a very quick scan here, see if there's anything interesting. Okay, this system might have some interesting things. Let's take a look at the system map for starters. We got a couple of worlds that are coupled together, but I don't think this is going to be particularly interesting. If there were worlds that were like with rings and stuff, that I would like to see, or maybe even some black holes. However, we have to look at the planet types. And the way I've been doing that is I actually saw a graph that shows what each of the representations of the planets is on the dashboard that you guys see, which is why we go to this particular camera angle that allows us to see the dashboard world as well as what we're targeting. And that right there is a high metal content world. Also a high metal content world, high metal content world. And there's, well, all of this is a rocky world. Rocky world, rocky world, rocky world, rocky world. So pretty much nothing of interest in this system. So we're going to move on. Usually you'll want to scan, sometimes you'll want to scan some metallic worlds. But most of the time you want to try and focus on water worlds and earth-likes. That is the stuff that is really worth it, your time to scan. Or if you see like a specific anomaly that you'd like to check out, like maybe a black hole, maybe two ringed systems real next to each other, that's the kind of stuff that is worth you checking out. But like I told you guys, one of the cool things about doing exploration is that you actually get to see stuff that you will usually not pay that much attention to while you're out there in the bubble. Like if we go to the galaxy map right now, you'll notice that it's really dark where we are. There's not a lot of stars. You guys are like, why is that? Well, if we step away from the galaxy for a little bit, you'll notice that this area that we're in, you see how there's like a big dense concentration of stars in this area, and then there's big dense stars here, and same thing ahead of us. Well, the area we're going through right now, what is directly ahead of us is pretty much black, because there's not that much star density around this area. So until we get to this arm, we're going to be seeing the landscape with much less star density. Of course, once we get further and further away from the star from where we arrived, we can start seeing a little bit more clearly. And this is the arm that is ahead of us. Once we get there, the skybox is going to shift. That's one of the things that really fascinates me about this game, is how everything, kind of like every system, dynamically represents what it would look like to actually be in that system, with the star density and the stars that are in front of you and that cool stuff.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's just, I've never really done, like I told you guys in the previous stream, I've never really done a purely explorational trip. I mean, this is not purely exploration because we do have a destination that we want to go to, but I'm making it as much as of an exploration experience as I can until I get to my destination. And that so far has been tremendously satisfying. Looks like we got a couple of astronomical objects. Let's take a look here. Mostly rocky bodies, I think. Probably a couple of metallic worlds, like this one's probably a metallic world. Then there's this rocky body with rings. I don't think there's anything particularly interesting, but I'm gonna take a look through the dashboard, because that's how I can actually see. These are just like asteroid fields. We don't want to scan those. High metal content world, high metal content world, high metal content world, rocky world. If you're really struggling for money, it is worth it for you to scan some high metal content worlds, but I'm not struggling that much, so it's whatever. The other thing that could be interesting as well, oh god, don't get that close, is like if you want to put your name on the map, like is this, none of this stuff is explored. So basically, if I go in here and I scan all of these planets and then I turn in the data, essentially if anybody else comes into this specific system, they will see discovered by Rurikhan on all of these worlds. Except I'm not particularly interested in taking a digital piss on top of all of these worlds, because these are kind of like worthless bodies that we found here, so it's whatever. I'd rather tag whenever there are actual bodies, actual planetary bodies that are worthwhile for us to tag. James Neely, honk and scoop 07. It's more than just honking and scooping. It's much more than just honking and scooping. I mean, depending on what we get in the systems, of course. Some systems is just honk and scoop, but I guess this is not a scoopable star. I didn't pay attention to which star I was jumping to. We got 5 astronomical objects. Let's see them. Asteroid field, asteroid field, asteroid field, asteroid field. Not worth our time. Jesus, a bunch of asteroid fields and a non-scoopable star. What kind of a ragtag system is this? I mean, it's just a star and a big asteroid field. That's somewhat disappointing. Can't believe we've barely seen any interesting systems since we started the stream. I want to get to at least one interesting system so that you guys can understand the joy of exploration. Yeah, we get a bonus for first discovery, but it's like, even though I want to make some money, ultimately it's like I don't want to stay in a system for an extended amount of time just for the sole purpose of making money unless there's something interesting there. I mean, I'm more interested in the trip and getting to the place that I'm getting to whilst not being too rushed. So this one actually looks cool because it's got two suns that are right next to each other. We could potentially take a cool screenshot here. Let's take a look at the system map. Yeah, see these two stars? They're right next to each other, and this one, oh wow, 3 stars. 5 stars, all kind of like connected together. Oh, this looks promising right here. This is high metal content, pretty sure. But this one looks very promising. Unfortunately, it's going to be really far away. So, let's take a look at it, shall we? So, first one is a star, second one's a star. They're really close by, these stars. Another star, that's a high metal content world. Asteroid belt. High metal content, high metal content, high metal content. It's high metal content, man. Really hoping for an Earth-like or a water world. Mostly high metal content worlds. That's disappointing. Let's take a look at the stars before we leave, though. Because supposedly we got 3 stars right next to each other. So that could be an interesting sight.
Fuel scooping complete.
And this is a big star, too. See, there's the other star. Where's the 3rd star? Take a look at this. Oh, look at how close they are. Like, that is insane how close these 2 stars are. And supposedly there's another star right next to it? No, this is not it. This one's the one that's 22,000 light years away. Light seconds away. That's probably the last one, right? That's the 3rd star? Yeah, 223. So scanning these stars is not giving me that much money. I'm just scanning them because they're close by. Exploring is zen-inducing. I agree, James Neely. Exploring the deep black is zen-inducing. It's been really satisfying to me. Oh, this one's a red dwarf. We could scoop out. Oh, we already scooped out of the other one. One's tiny, though. She's so small. Well, she's not that tiny. She just happens to be further away from the other ones. I wonder if I can put her in a cool angle with the other ones. Probably not, because they are pretty far away. Those two, on the other hand, are pretty impressive. The way they are. I don't even think I can fly between them. It's not giving me an exclusion zone. There it is. I think I might be able to fly between them. This is a terrible idea and you shouldn't do this. Booyah!
Warning. Temperature.
Oh no! Damn it! What have I done? I'm a fucking idiot. I cooked my ship. I just had to try it, didn't I? I just had to do it. God damn it. I really shouldn't have done that. Jesus. That was needless damage that didn't need to happen. That really didn't need to happen. Oh well. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah, Judge Rathamanthus, there's that way, and there's also the way of looking at them through the dashboard picture. Personally, I like looking at them through the dashboard because that also allows me to instantly check for potential non-planetary contacts that will be in a system, because I'm basically just checking the navigation panel. So I prefer that method, and I've also kind of memorized a lot of what some planets look like. There are a couple of them that I was still confused between the types, but I don't know, I just found that way to work better for me. But it depends on what you would rather do.
View scoping.
One new astronomical object. We haven't found anything worth scanning. Just another star. Not even a star that's worth a scanning. Because it is worth it for you to like scan neutron stars and white dwarfs. Those are worth some money too. Look how black it is. The darkness. Darkness is.
Charging.
Oh god, I should have brought more water. I don't have enough water. Not sure what's going on YouTube's end. I can see that the stream appears to be lagging again.
View scoping.
I'll restart it one more time while we're scooping here. Alrighty. Doesn't look like we got anything of interest. Wow, this kind of sucks. Like last night, I was getting much more interesting things in the systems that I was scanning, but it looks like we hit kind of a bit of an uneventful bump. Bit of an uneventful exploration bump here. It is jittery, Paladin Leroy. It's on YouTube's end.
Frameshift drive charging.
Because, like, I got no dropped frames whatsoever, but YouTube's just like, erp, derp, derp. I don't know what the deal is with that. Either way, today is going to be a bit of a shorter stream because this is kind of like a process that I'm going to be repeating for a while until we eventually get to our destination. But it was just kind of an update to show you guys the life of an explorer. You come in here, you honk your horn. Okay, see, this system will hopefully have more interesting things. Let's check out the system map. Aha! See, we got these two systems have the potential to be very interesting because supposedly they're linked together in the same orbit. So if they're close enough to one another, they're not. They're too far away. But if they were close enough, they could be interesting. Also, this thing right here shows some promise. Probably going to be an icy world, but...
Fuel
Oh,
scooping complete.
and a little bit too deep there. Anyway, let's take a look at what we got. Another star, high metal content. That is high metal content, even though it looks like a water world. I still like to scan these ones because I'm not 100% sure on them. Pretty sure it's high metal content though. All of these are high metal content. Gas giant, high metal content. 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 All high metal content. It's almost like the systems are, the planets are made out of metal. But we're gonna go visit these two. Just out of curiosity. Also, do we have a landable planet in here? Oh yeah, sweet. This one's right next to it. So I'll probably want to land on here. We might get a good view of that gas giant. That's the kind of stuff that I like doing. Judge Radamantis, you got into PS4? Oh, it's good stuff, dude. Starting fresh. It is a long road ahead of you. I don't know why YouTube's so busted. You know, it was working fine for the previous live stream. It's probably YouTube having issues right now. Tell you what, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna try streaming to YouTube's secondary server, see if that fixes it. Interdictions. Last night after the stream, like I was already a ways off from the bubble, and I'm just getting ready to take this screenshot of this really cool system that I'm at, and then suddenly I get interdicted. Not interdicted, it's just like they just jump on my instance. 3 vultures, and I was like, what the fuck is this? 3 vultures out in the middle of nowhere just spawned here, and I know for a fact that vultures can't jump worth a damn. So this is kind of cool. We got another double star system. Look at that. A double star, binary star, whatever. Wait, is there a planet in there? No, that's the orbit of that sun. What? That is crazy the way these two stars orbit. That is crazy. Anyway, get over there. You do get to see some pretty unique systems all the way out here. One will eventually consume the other in its life cycle. For real? I'm not big on astronomy, so I wouldn't know. That's interesting. I'd really like to see two ringed systems next to each other. I've seen one of those in Obsidian Ants videos, but I would like to, you know, cross paths with a system like that in the middle of my journey. Like, that would be interesting. It doesn't look like these two are particularly close. This one's much smaller. Not even a good kind of gas giant, because if you get a class 2, those are actually worth something. This one's not really worth much. Now that one's considerably bigger, and it's got planets that are close enough to it that I'll want to check out. Specifically, it's a high metal content world. I can make the lines disappear and reappear. I like having the lines there so that I see what kind of orbit these things are doing. But I like having the ability to take them out whenever I need to take a screenshot. Also nice. This is a purple gas giant with really nice set of rings. We'd be able to take a pretty sweet screenshot if we want to. On that planet right there. Rurikhan, have you thought about maybe showing some of your discoveries in a stream, just the odd screenshot of our best finds? Oh, your discoveries. Sure, if you guys want to send me screenshots, you can send them to me on Twitter. Tweet them at me and I would be glad to showcase them. Let's see what would be the best spot to land on here. Jesus Christ, the rings are so big, I'm not going to be able to take a screenshot. Look at how big these rings are. And this planet is so tiny. Such a tiny little planet. It's actually not as close as I would like. Not gonna look that impressive. Not like the other planet that we were at. We're not gonna land here. It's a waste of time. Let's move on.
Frameshift drive charging.
Gonna frame shift drive right through these. Like, I wanted to check out the, I wanted to see if we could get this to be really close to the other planet, but it's not that close. So the screenshot would not be that impressive. I'm looking for cool, impressive screenshots. Michael Helmet. So those systems are randomly generated when someone discovers them and stored on servers for others. I don't believe that's the case. I think these systems are actually in line with the systems that are in our galaxy. The thing that is procedurally generated is what the planets look like and whatnot, and what kind of planets they are, but I think that the number of planets and stuff, I'm not entirely sure, but I know that this is supposed to be as accurate of a representation of our galaxy as it gets. This could be interesting if it wasn't a gas giant, but I'm pretty sure it is. Mostly rocky planets, and a couple of icy bodies and a couple of gas giants. Nothing too interesting, I'll tell you right now. High metal content, rocky, gas giant, star, rocky. Icy rocky body. Yeah, it's not a great system, this one. Again, we're pretty much in uncharted territory. Nobody discovered these places yet. No other player has actually been here. Isn't that exciting to, like, you have this game that is played by a massive amount of players. You have this galaxy. And it's just a galaxy. It's not even the universe. It is one galaxy. And it is so big that even with all of these players, you can actually get to uncharted territory. You can actually discover something that is quite unique and wonderful. Like, stuff like that just blows me away. Like, isn't it amazing that players have been playing this game for like 3 years now? And I can still find systems where nobody's ever been to. That's another one of the joys of exploration on a cutter, is that you get more opportunities for stuff like that because you're jumping less. And you're jumping less, I mean you're actually jumping more. You're jumping more jumps for less distance. Let's take a look at the system map here. Bleh. Unfortunately, a lot of the systems we're getting to there are not particularly interesting or profitable. That's an icy rocky. The reason we're not scanning rocky worlds is because they're not valuable. So it's not really worth our time to go and scan those.
Frameshift drive charging.
Piss on them so they are yours. Nah. I'd rather piss on planets that are actually, and by piss I mean I'd rather leave my mark on planets that are actually interesting. I will still have quite a few first discoveries from this trip if I actually make it back and don't make my ship explode along the way. Falling asleep at the wheel could be a serious problem when you're doing something like this.
Fuel scooping.
Rockies and metallics, mostly. I don't see anything else. Rockies, metallics. I'd love to see like an earth light somewhere. To show you guys what it looks like. The joy that it is whenever you see an earth light like this right here. This is an icy rocky body. This is a high metal content world. High metal content world. Rocky world, rocky. Rock. Nope. Asteroid belt. That's that. Again, not a particularly interesting system. Be careful not to cook our ship. Also, I'll need to do repairs at some point because, and again, most of my modules are still above 90%. I guess until I get them below 90%, then I'll start worrying about it. But while everything is above 90%, usually your ship will be fine. Shouldn't really be a problem. I'm just surprised that the plotter hasn't sent me to the neutron router. I could have probably saved like 100 jumps if I went through the neutron router. It's very disappointing that the in-game plotter is still not as good as neutron router. And again, neutron router, like I said, doesn't have to worry about us running out of fuel. Just lets players deal with that. Okay, so this has a couple of interesting things that I want to see. Namely, these 4 gas giants, because they're the same orbit. They could be close enough to be interesting, but I don't think so, because this one's 1627 and 1644. 2260. 2244. Wait, what? Anyway, let's take a look at what kind of systems we're looking at.
Fuel scooping complete.
High metal content. Bunch of gas giants, Rockies, and high metal content. Nothing particularly interesting out of this system. Take a look at this. But I don't think I'm going to linger in here too long. I didn't even bother checking, but I'm pretty sure this is also Uncharted. Yeah, this is all Uncharted. Again, we're the first ones to be on this system. Look at all the landable bodies in here, too. Oh, God. These 2 planets are really close. We gotta check out these 2. Gotta check out these 2. They're not particularly valuable planets, but since they're that close, they could form an interesting anomaly or something. That's what I want to see. As James Neely says, or a good photo op. an interesting anomaly or a good photo op. You're always, whenever you're doing exploration, it's like one of the things is always trying to find interesting screenshots to take. I've taken a few, by the way, if you guys are curious. I can show you guys the capture gallery. This is stuff that I've taken recently. So we have this. Can I just scroll to the side? It's not. Okay. There's this one, which I actually published today, which was on that planet that we started the stream at. There's this one. This one was the first Earth-like that I discovered on this particular journey, and I think this screen grab is actually really cool. There's this one. I don't know where I was, but this is not... Oh, this is what... this was the Earth-like as well. I was taking another shot of the ship at the Earth-like. This one also looks cool. And there's this one where I put one star in front of the other and it gave it that neat effect, and then I just thrusters on and bullshit. This is one of the worlds that I really want to fly down to when they eventually make it possible, is one of these high metal content worlds. It's got like lava eruptions and stuff. I really want to go down there and just fly down there. Check it out. This is another cool shot that I took with that planet. I want to take this one of like the horizon. I think it looks cool as well. I took one in front sun. And this one I think I actually took while we were in the stream. And then this one I took when I talked about just the size of this fucking cannon. Yeah, I've taken a couple of cool shots, I think. Spank the monkey, wicked looking ship. See, that's why I have so much pleasure in exploration, because you can bask. You know, you can be like, oh, my ship looks so good in front of just about anything. Whereas, like, if I was exploring in a Diamondback, I don't think it would look nearly this good. Now, if I was exploring in an Anaconda, it would just look bad. Just look bad, dude. That's why you want to get a ship that you like to actually do exploration in. That's what you want to do. Anyway, let's see how close those two planets are. I can just target random stuff and scan stuff in there while I'm moving in. This is a crappy gas giant, so it's not going to give me a whole lot of money. But it'll still give me money. And another gas giant? What the hell? Really wish I would have done fast scan on this thing. Would have been much more useful than long range scan. Oh, this is a really small planet. So these are the two planets that are right next to each other. I can see them from here. Unfortunately, it looks like they're about the same mass. See, if one of the planets was much bigger than the other one, you could get some cool screenshots, but the way it is right now, it's going to make that pretty hard. Oh, this one's the smaller one. Dude, but that thing is so massive next to these two planets. Fortunately, they're not in a really good position for a screenshot. I mean, I could potentially get a good screenshot if I could line up. Nah. It's not gonna happen. You know, if you can line up planets a certain way, then you can get good screenshots, but if you can't get them to line up, it's not gonna work out. You would. Even if I was to land on this, well, maybe. Maybe I can land here, look at the sky, and it's gonna look pretty outlandish. My scanner's so good, scans right through the planet. Like a boss.
Orbital flight engaged.
Giving cancer to all the potential life forms that exist on this planet. Nah, I'm not gonna be able to get, well... The more I fly in this direction, the more they're gonna get away, so ideally I would want to fly the exact opposite direction.
Orbital flight engaged.
.14 Gs, not really an issue. Got a cool shot of those nebulas as well. Oh crap, I might have come too far. I can't even see the other planet now. Nah, it's not good. Ah. I don't like anything. I'm leaving. Sometimes it just consumes your time when you're trying to get a cool looking shot. And sometimes you end up forcing it a little bit too much. That's no gas giant, it's cake. Could be cake.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's always about the next jump and the surprises it will bring.
Fuel scooping.
This doesn't look particularly promising because it's not. There's 3 more stars in this system, and that's that. This is a scoop and go system. You scoop and you go.
Warning, temperature critical.
That scared me.
Charging.
Modules are still looking pretty good. Lowest we've got is 96 on the cargo hatch. Gotta be careful with that cargo hatch. It would be a shame for us to lose Bob. You guys remember Bob, right? He's still in the cargo. We got Bob. We got tobacco. We got wine. And yesterday after the stream, I also got us some food. So we got everything we could possibly need, you know? We got Bob, we got tobacco, wine, and food. And we have a female pilot.
Fuel scooping.
What's her name again? I tend to forget her name. Annabella Robles. Annabella Robles. Ah, there's nothing here. Onwards we go.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
See right there, wine, tobacco, food, occupied escape pod. I wish I could rename this for Bob. Don't jettison Bob. What is wrong with you? Jettison Bob. You guys saw that shit? That jettison Bob right there. What is wrong with people?
Fuel scooping.
We might have gotten a little bit too close there. Let's not overstay our welcome. Sheesh. Doesn't look like we're going to be staying long anyway. It's a goddamn single star system. Oh shoot, I didn't explore it? Come on. Get that shiznit. Get it! Getting too hot in here for my taste. Hurry it up.
Fuel scooping complete.
Hurry up that scan. 61% for crying out loud. Alrighty. Onwards we go. Once more into the breach, my dear friend. I hate that you can't see navigation when you're charging a frame shift drive jump. It's not natural navigating through witch space, I'll tell you that much. One of these days. One of these days, man. Someone's gonna get stuck out there. This a bad star? No, this is a good scoopable star. What do we got here? Hey, we have 3 planets that nobody's ever been to. And they do not look promising at all. I see Rockies and rocky bodies.
Fuel scooping complete.
And away we go. Wish it would make us jump through friggin' neutron stars already. We've done so many jumps. Why can't you just take us to the neutron highway? Would have been there faster. If this was on PC, I would consider going through the neutron highway, but on PS4 I have to manually input the names of every system that I go through. It's not like I can copy paste that shit. So it becomes a real chore to do. Speaking of neutron stars, that a neutron star? No, it's not. It's disappointment.
Fuel scooping.
That right there is disappointment, ladies and gentlemen. That's what that is. 16 new astronomical objects. Will you at least have something interesting? Ooh, what is this? It's icy rocky. Icy rocky as well, I think. I don't know. Let's look this up. What have we got?
Fuel scooping.
High metal content, high metal, star, star, star. Icy rocky, rocky, metal, 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 metal. Disappointment. Here I was hoping for something interesting out of those bluish looking planets, but nope. Nope, no dice. Curious if we're still in uncharted territory. I guess not as many players came out here as I thought. No, because back in those days, people would have been using the neutron router. That's why they wouldn't have come through these systems. Alright, this is still uncharted. Because most people go through the neutron router. They don't use the in-game thing. And if you're in PC, it doesn't surprise me that you use, because it's convenient to use the neutron router on the PC. Neutron router is an online tool that allows you to plot a course in order to favor the usage of neutron stars, which allow you to shorten the amount of jumps you'll have to do. Fortunately, I thought the in-game planner would now do this, but it doesn't.
Fuel scooping.
That is definitely too close for comfort.
Fuel scooping complete.
Nah. How close are these? Yeah. Take a quick look at what we got here. Metal, high metal, icy rocky, rocky, star. Let's get the hell out of here. Stinja09, Rurikhan, remember when you were so new to this game, you've come a long way. Well, I've been addicted to it. It's kind of to be expected.
Frameshift drive charging.
Kind of to be expected. Once you get addicted to something, you tend to learn a whole lot more about it. Onwards to Project Dynasty in Hawkins Gap. Jesus. Just a fuel stop, huh? Damn it, I might as well scan it. Again, I wish I had done fast scan. That would have been so much more useful. Yeah, Stincha, I'm out exploring. I'm heading out to Hawkins Gap because I want to check out some stuff about Project Dynasty. I want to actually experience the content myself.
Fuel scooping complete.
I want to visit all 12 sites and eventually go to the Zurara. Obviously, that's going to be a pretty massive undertaking. It's going to take me a long time to actually get there. But I've also decided to make it an exploration trip. So it hasn't been
Drive charging.
as boring as it could have been. Let's put it like that. And I'm also getting a lot of first-time discoveries because it looks like we're pretty much going most of our trip right now through uncharted territory.
4, 3, 2, 1.
This is really like James Neely was saying earlier. This is very Zen-like. It's like the experience of exploring is you're going out through space, and you're like in this galaxy that is shared through thousands of other players,
Fuel scooping.
maybe even millions. I don't know what the head count is currently for Elite Dangerous. And you're still uncovering things that nobody has ever seen, and you're just very relaxed while you're doing it. I guess I don't know. I tend to get relaxed while I'm doing this, so it's very satisfying. Unfortunately, it's not really giving me a lot of interesting things to look at. These things are like 20 light seconds apart, so they're pretty far apart. Not going to be that interesting to look at. Most of these are rocky and high metal content worlds from what I can see from the map. And of course, asteroid belts. Metal, high metal. Icy rocky. Gas giant, not even a good one. Rockies. See, this is a good gas giant right there. It's got that little, almost like a tribal pattern to it. This one will give you like 68,000 credits on average, so it's pretty good to scan these if you can. But 68,000 credits is barely worth my time. But those are the best gas giants to scan. I would have probably gotten a bit of a bonus too, because this is probably still uncharted territory. Wager. Am I right? Yep, still uncharted territory. Like, if I was the kind of guy that just wanted to do first discoveries, I'd be out here like friggin' pissing on all these planets, typing out my name. Instead, I'm just marking the main star. Stincher, I got my first Earth-like yesterday, and it wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't the first discovery, so it was disappointing. Someone had already taken a piss on it. I got the sloppy seconds on that Earth-like.
Fuel scooping.
Let's check out the map here. Mostly rocky bodies. They're not even that close. So it's probably not even worth our time. Still like checking them out just in case I got something wrong, but nope. Rocky, 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 rocky. What'd I tell you? Mostly rocky bodies. I'm getting an eye for this sort of thing. I gotta be honest. Oh, we're switching sectors, finally. Actually, we've switched sectors on the previous jump.
Frameshift drive charging.
Here's for some cool discoveries on NGC. I'm actually not even sure how many light years we've done so far. I don't know how many jumps. I should have kept like a jump counter for streams and then update it every time we jump. That'd be cool. Imagine Rui getting out of the ship with a bottle of wine, pissing everywhere. It's mine. This is my planet. That's essentially what I'm doing on these stars, though. It's like, even if someone comes to these systems and explore all those worlds, it's like, I found the main star. I'm the explorer. Taking a digital piss on every primary star of systems. Ooh. Ah. Mostly icy stuff, I would imagine. How close is that first planet? Also be cool to land on a planet that's like sitting right next to the sun, but no, it's 500 light seconds. Metal, 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 rocky, 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 rocky.
Fuel scooping complete.
That's that. Bunch of high metals and rockies. I'm probably going to be trying to edit the second episode of Lusitania's journey tonight after we do this live stream. I think you guys will like it if I'm able to edit that thing properly. Unfortunately, it's going to have to include a lot of anime portrait-like scenes with portraits of characters, because it's not like I can actually get characters together to act out a scene. And there was a specific scene that I wanted to have acted out, which is essentially the origin story of how Roy McClane got to Lusitania. He did some grinding, all right, but not the kind of grinding you're thinking about. Ah, yeah.
Fuel scooping.
Roy McClane. Name's McClane. Roy McClane. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mostly garbage. Can already tell it's garbage. It's all Rockies. All Rockies. Space rocks. High metal. Ooh. What this one is? I think this is an icy something. Let me just double check this.
Fuel scooping complete.
This one's so bad it's not even in the charts. And I've seen it. I'm pretty sure it's an icy body of some kind. I'll just scan it to figure it out, because this one has shown up a couple of times and I'm not 100% sure what it is. I'm gonna go scan it. I know that I'm pretty sure it's not important. It's some icy garbage planet that is not interesting at all. But I should still scan it just to figure out what it is. Because it keeps coming up, and for a couple of times I've been like, what is this thing? Take your time, scanner. See, I told you it was a useless rocky body. I knew it. The worst part about it is that I knew it was useless. I just had to make sure.
Frameshift drive charging.
This doesn't turn into the same as Destiny 2 where all we hear is Chalice dogs shit. Well, I mean, it's not my fault that the systems that we're picking up are not particularly interesting. On the flip side, it's also what makes exploration so gratifying when you actually find something worthwhile is the fact that it is actually rare. It doesn't happen as often as we would like.
Fuel scooping.
It looks like a bunch of stars and maybe a planet. No, it's actually just a bunch of Rockies. It's a bunch of Rockies in Meta Worlds. I mean, it's got to have blue for it to really be interesting, unfortunately. Bunch of icy bodies, rocky bodies. Move on to the next one. This will probably be our last jump in the stream because I just wanted to give you guys an update as to how far we are. I'm actually curious to see how much progress we've made on stream.
Frameshift drive charging.
Because I also want to go edit that stuff today, and I would like to edit that before the wife and the kid get home. How far am I from the Dryu systems? I don't even know, dude. I'm headed to Hawkins Gap right now. And I'm probably coming up on like a third of the trek or something.
Fuel scooping.
What have we got here? Ah, it's got ice on it, so could be a water world. Yeah, I think this might be a water world. So we'll probably want to scan that. Gonna suck.
Fuel scooping complete.
Also sucks. I think this is like the only thing that really matters. Yep, that's a water world. Yeah, boys. We making some money on this one. We making some money on this bad boy right here. Is this going to be a first discovery too? Yep. Nobody's gotten this one. Oh god, and it's a big one. Mass also influences your payout, and water worlds are particularly valuable, and the fact that we can scan it all the way from 100 and something light seconds means it's probably a pretty valuable system. This is a water world right there. Badoosh! Water world. And I'm going too fast. Zoom! Doesn't matter. We already scanned it. We're moving on.
Charging.
That is, see, the water world right there is actually very good for us finding that. That could potentially give us up to like 500,000 credits for discovering one of those, particularly with the bonus of being first discovery. Pray for terraformable. That's right, there's also an additional bonus if the planet happens to be terraformable. Although I don't necessarily know what dictates whether or not it's terraformable.
Fuel scooping.
Bunch of Rockies and metal.
Fuel scooping complete.
Yep, icy Rocky, 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 Rocky. It's so disappointing finding systems that are basically just a bunch of floating rocks. It's like, yep, this system is a bag of rocks. It's just like rocks. You like rocks? We got rocks. Rocks all up in this business. What do you mean I have to check if it's terraformable? I don't know what you mean by that.
Charging.
You mean I had to look at the system information back there? But it's back there. It's in the past now. Gone. I don't care too much about the payout. I'm doing this. The payout for this journey is getting out to Hawkins Gap and seeing the Hawkins Gap sites
Fuel scooping.
from Project Dynasty. That's the real payout for this journey. Everything else is just side stuff. 3 stars. Not interesting at all.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift
Let's
drive
move on.
charging.
Onwards to the next system. I'll probably make this our last jump, so I'll want to check on our progress, see how much we've jumped throughout this live stream. I think I've been saying that for a couple of jumps, but I just keep jumping.
Fuel scooping.
Yeah, we actually got a couple of astronomical objects. Anything interesting? No. Bunch of rocky metallic worlds. Eh. There are a lot of useless systems out here, I gotta say that much. Yep. Mostly useless. Now let's take a look at our distance from Sol. We were 2,500 light years. A little bit more than that from Sol last we checked. How about now? We made almost 1,000 light years while we were on stream. Not too shabby. And now taking a look at our progress to our destination.
Fuel scooping
We're
complete.
still a little more than a fourth. Gonna take us a while to get all the way out of here. And from here, coming here. But the worst of it is gonna be from here, coming here. I think that's by far the longest trip. Well, yeah, it's still long. It's longer from here to here. I think when I get here, I'll have to take a detour through the bubble. There's also a couple of interesting nebulas along this way. So we'll detour through the bubble, repair, and then head out here. We'll also drop off Bob, poor guy. He's been with us for so long. But yep, we still got a long trip ahead of us. Well, Commanders, fly safe out there in the black. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you're enjoying these live streams, make sure to hit that like button. Helps out a lot. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here so that you're always notified when there's a new live stream or new video out in the channel. I'm going to go ahead and start editing the second bit of Lusitania's journey. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more live streams. Peace out.